Really apologize for that. Try to make sure this does not happen again. Try to get some redundancy in the future. Really sorry for that.
That's okay. These sort of things happen. All right, so
in the bottom left, we have some selfies going on. We have some Tai Chi, two guys back to back. They're cracking up a cold one. It's a Taco Bell commercial. Incredible. I was expecting like a car commercial or maybe like a Facebook commercial. That was amazing.
Does sound appealing right now. I have not really had too much of dinner, and so tacos might be on the menu for me. What about you, CuteDog?
You know, me and Mr. Llama are going out for a romantic date to go get some fondue. We might live stream it, but let's focus back on these characters here. Sorry for the segue there. We have EngineringEternity. He is in the lab, everyone. He is in the lab. He is going for the kill. He is so far ahead. We have Empyrian. He's going for another lab trial. We have Blastingcap going for, it looks like Solaris Temple, and Moasie. He's leaned back. He looks like he's about to resident sleeper and fall asleep. He's about to become the snooze man, and he is going for maybe another trial as well.
Now, be careful using the resident sleeper in Havoc's channel. Do remember that would get you automatically temp banned. So be careful with that, CuteDog. EngineringEternity going in here to the first fight. It is gargoyles today. These can be very tricky, especially if he activates the Quicksilver one first and you don't get it down. What do you think is going to happen here?
I think they've seen this before in the previous races. He's going to DPS down the gargoyle. He's going to booty blast it. The second one, he's not going to do any real damage to Izaro until all three gargoyles are set. Because if they're all alive, they're all jumping on you on this phase, it really sucks. In the future phases, they give Izaro some buffs. That really sucks as well. So they have learned from the previous racers, and they know the strategy here for sure.
It looks like he gets the first gargoyle down, no problem, easy game, and doesn't even worry about it. Starts hitting on the second gargoyle before it's even activated. Maybe he has some sort of insider information. He knows exactly which one Izaro's going to pick next, and they chatted before the stream, before the race, and oh, it does get activated, though. He is running away. Takes a big hit.
On my screen, he has already killed all three gargoyles. Might be worth refreshing the multi-twitch a little bit. He is whittling down Izaro now. He knows that all three are dead. He's ignoring the loot, getting some flash charges. Very nice flash charge management. His business is down, though, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. Now he has one charge up, and this is going to be easy. He's so good at avoiding all the attacks here. Barrage eating a little bit of that, but he knows that does no damage. Very nice. Izaro should be avoiding a slash by the skin of his teeth. Very nice play.
Have some fire res both on his ring and on his chest. This definitely would help out, as you know, when he does do that barrage. That is, I believe, half physical, half fire.
And now he's on his way to the Basilica Halls. He hasn't come close to dying at all in this lab. It is his race to lose. And we have Empy. He is still going through. Maybe this is like, I think, Marketplace, perhaps. Yeah, Moasie is getting another trial. So he's getting one step closer to being able to challenge engineering if he, by some chance, dies a lot. And Blastingcap doing a lot of shopping.
At a switch trap, do you think that he might decide to solve this puzzle, try to get additional loot?
Oh my goodness, that would be bad manners, my friend. That would be very toxic behavior from an up-and-coming PoE streamer, I think. I don't think
looks like he's actually going the wrong way right now. I believe he should be going top right, and he didn't see the passageway, and so he's just completely lost in the lab right now. Doesn't know what's going on. Maybe he's trying to find a dark shrine. Who knows what's going on?
Possibly. Look, we have a chest coming up here. This is a decorative chest. What could be inside here? Let's take a look. And it's something that helps him with another phase of Izaro. I believe he has some issues clicking it. He has not been playing enough Osu, so his clicking accuracy is not the best.
It popped on the far side of the chest. At least it was accessible. Although he does have the leap slam, it will get you back there, and he is going to be moving forward towards conduits. Looks like he's not necessarily confident in balancing all those plates of all those conduits up, and so he wants to make sure that he only has to deal with two. Do you think that he might go for the Dark Shrine? There are two potential Dark Shrines on his way to Izaro. Do you think that he might go for those?
My goodness. Can you imagine if he gets an acceleration Dark Shrine? Call him the 1 minute man. He's going to get so fast to the next phases. But I think that's too much searching. He wants the reliability. He wants to get to the next area. I'm surprised that he's killing mobs. He's at the second trial. Maybe he believes as he kills enough mobs between now and the third phase, he can get another level and then maybe get a little bit extra advantage there.
And another level might help. Maybe he's hoping for an additional drop, maybe another weapon, maybe a alchemy orb or something. We're not necessarily sure exactly what he's looking for, but looks like he is going into the second phase, as we know, is conduits. He does have the, I believe, cube of absorption, which should deactivate the first conduit that he clicks permanently, which would give him a big advantage here. Although he has to be careful not to kill Izaro before all three conduits go up.
Yeah, you know, something about these conduits, it's very easy to lose track of them. You know, you see Izaro with a little bit lower health, and you're like, you know what, I could just hit him down a little bit, and then before you know it, he is fully buffed for the next phase. Now, I have seen his, oh, he goes down to 30%, but look at that flask speed. Is that an auto pot? Jesus Christ. He went down to 30, the instant flask automatically went up. That is very, very nice plays.
Yeah, that should potentially be an auto. We might have to look into this afterwards, but it looks like he is doing a very good job moving around the arena, keeping Izaro from hitting him in the face, and keeping those conduits down. He does have to be careful, though, because that White Knight totem could turn into a disaster if it pushes him over. And he gets hit again massively.
But then an instant pot again. Look at these pots. The second he hits 30 or 20% health, the instant pot is right there. He's got the fastest fingers in the West.
Definitely fastest fingers in the West, although he is only hitting one pot at a time, so it might not be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 macro, maybe just a 1 macro here. And
perhaps that is very, very suspicious. We'll have to look into that later. And then we have the other players. So this is going to be pretty easy for him. The other players are just clearing into the temples. Nothing special there, avoiding Harvey packs. Looks like Empyrian is trying to get some XP in the docks.
Again, he keeps on getting hit. He's not necessarily sure how to not get hit, and that's probably why he went with the more life, bringing in the extra resist flask, because he wants to make sure that he knows that he's going to get hit by these attacks. He wants to be able to tank them.
And now we have him solving the doors, going through the spikies. Look at that, leaf slamming over the spikies before he has a chance to activate. He did get bled by that one. Very, very nice with the use of the pots. And as for anyone in chat, I was joking about the auto pots. You guys can relax. Please don't get triggered like a certain person I know. And we will continue commentating, perhaps without those jokes and stuff. It looks like he went the wrong way. He's going back. Look at this. Engineering Eternity is going back. He's got a secret little passage, and then now he's making his way to the next area. Very nice plays by Engineering. He still has at least 2 flask uses.
Looks like he's actually going to go for the Dark Shrine here because he went straight to it. Maybe he prepared a little bit, did a little bit of the lab. I know I did, and that Dark Shrine is always going to be in that particular spot after the trap. And so we'll see if he can get something good here. Maybe a crit shrine, maybe a massive shrine, something that really push him really far ahead. And it'll be really interesting to see what he gets. I'm going to guess he's going to get extra treasure key. How about you?
Yeah, I hope he gets an extra treasure key. Maybe at the end he can find a mirror or something like that. That would be a nice way to win the race. But once again, this is his race to lose. He's making great time. On the left side, you can see 2 players docking, and that means they are clearing docks for XP. And we have it, and those 2 players are Empyrian and Blastingcap. Oh, Blastingcap almost going low to the fire spinny demon there.
Yeah, definitely lots of guys in the docks right now. And Engineering Eternity did get the regen shrine. He's not going to have to worry about running out of mana ever for the rest of the race, and probably should be filling up these flasks, but he's busy leaping past. He's not going to have the Quicksilver, not going to have his thing from his bismuth flask. He's just running right now.
Yeah, we have 2 players with 3 juicy health pots, and then 2 players with 2 health pots. Blastingcap and Engineering Eternity both going with only 2, and then opting for a little bit more utility or manas.
And do you know that? Notice that Engineer Eternity does have the Vigilant Strike for that fortify buff. I'm not sure if I was seeing him using that earlier. He was keeping his range, but maybe that's something he's looking to just face tank the last phase of Izaro. He's got no conduits up, and he's just going to really try to go for the win, get it done really fast. Looks like he might end up with like a 131 or something speed, which is pretty respectable, even though he's using Sunder.
For all the players besides Engineering, we have to look at their trials. Have they done all the trials? Probably Hedge Maze is not on the table yet for all 3. So I think it's going to be a very nice 2nd place finish to watch. I'm very excited for that. And now we have phase 3. Is this phase 3? And this is it. This is the final fight here. We're going to full screen Engineering, and we're going to see if anything crazy comes out of left field and Booty blasts him. Let's take a look. All right, dodges the first slash, no problem. It's almost like he knew that was coming. Here comes a shield charge, dodges that very easy. Spending a lot of Sunders on the side mobs instead of Izaro himself. Maybe that's just how confident he is. I'm not too worried about him dying to a one-shot because the slash only did about a third of his damage.
I don't see that he's using the Vigilant Strike. Maybe he just forgot, but maybe it's just bad manners. He's running away right now, picking up some more flash charges, really just taking his time, making sure that he's not face tanking too much damage from Izaro, letting that totem do a lot of work, and really just showing off those wings as he's leaping around this arena all over the place, leaving a big glowing trail with his weapon effects.
Man, this is some juicy action happening here. Look at those thunders. Oh, man, it looks so good. He hasn't been hit once since that slash. Oh, he does hit the slash, but Engineering has some very, very fast potting, and that is a joy to see that he's not even going to come close to getting 1-2 shot.
Even when he does get hit by very tiny attacks, he doesn't even need to worry about flashing up because he does have that regeneration shrine, which will fill up his health, which will fill up his mana. And so he only needs to worry about those big hits. He doesn't need to worry about anything else right now. That looks like he's going to get Izaro really low.
Yeah, and then the kill is going to be coming out here as long as he plays it safe. He goes out to half health to a slash, but he's totally fine. And there is the kill, and he has done it with 130-24 about, and he has officially won the race. No deaths. Very well done.
That's from him. He goes over to the altar of ascendancy. What is he going to pick? I think he might pick champion here. I think that would be fitting. Oh no, he went Slayer.
Very nice. There we go. A fitting finish. What a guy. Well played. 130, faster than his second run time, which was 135.
To enchant his gloves. Maybe he wants to go for a second kill. Maybe he wants to BM like that. And I heard that if he win, he was going to show his feet on stream. And that's something that his followers have been really looking forward to. But I do see Blastingcap going really low in the hedge maze. Looks like he's got a Harbanger Pap really beating him up right now. He's stuck in a corner.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't go past that. You know, the leaf sounds are a little bit iffy in those tight situations, but I think he'll be all right. He's got some nice flash charges there. We have let's see here. This is Moasie. Moasie making his way through the hedge maze. He's almost to the trial. Also with 3 health pots in no danger. He's out of mana, but I don't find that to be an issue. And we see EngineringEternity. Now he's watching. Now he's watching the racers, and he's just waiting with a smug look on his face, saying, "I've won this, and now it's time to see second place."
It's very meta. It's going to be very interesting as his stream catches up to the multi-twitch, and then we're going to have a big cascading effect happening.
That is going to be very interesting, actually. We have an infinite streamception going on here. He's got a lot of follows for that win, so great work there. We have Empyrian going for another trial here. This is the Catacombs, I believe, the spinning traps. He's doing okay. Nothing too exciting to see here, making his way through. And then Moasie, he is touching the altar now. Look at this. He's doing a final run through of this gear. What do I have in my inventory? What do I have equipped? Am I ready? And here we go. Aspirants Plaza. He is off to the lab. This is going to be for second place. No one is even close to getting to the labs yet.
It looks like he is using a weapon right now that only has 63% increased physical damage. So not necessarily anything amazing, but his weapon does have some cold res, does have some accuracy on it. That might help him out. I'm not necessarily seeing a lot of res. Oh, he logs right out.
Look at that. That is interesting. I don't know. Maybe he's doing one quick pass. Maybe chat told him, hey, look, you're the only one that's close to getting the lab. Take a look at this vendor. Take a look at that vendor. Maybe give some gems. Right now. Maybe he's culling. No, he's going for the totem. He's going for the Ancestral Protector. Look at that. All right, maybe a little bit extra damage. I don't know if that's the correct choice because no one's even close. All he has to do is get the defensives, and he will win second place.
That decoy totem is very, very strong against Izaro. You can just plop it down right behind him. He'll take his time walking over to it, and really is just makes this fight super duper easy. And switching over to the War Chief, you end up having to run around. Actually, he doesn't have a War Chief; he has Protector Totem, so that is probably not as good as decoy for a inexperienced Izaro killer.
Maybe, you know, Le Toucan has arrived twice in Moasie's chat. He has not enabled Do Not Disturb. But look at that smile on his face. He feels the positivity. He's got a positive mental attitude. He's not ready to gain any IQ from any deaths now. All he has to do is play it safe, and he will win second place.
Still looking very sharp. He hasn't loosened it up. He hasn't felt the tightness of that. So he's definitely keeping a sharp look both in game and out of game. And we're going to see here as he's coming up to the first Izaro. Do you think that he'll go for a Dark Shrine as well? We did see that coming out from EngineringEternity.
You know, let's see here. I think it's going to be fun to watch Empyrian racing Blastingcap in the lab. right now. Moasie, he knows what he's doing. I believe he has had lab farmers as well. And Engineering Eternity, he's look at his mouse. You can see it like hovering over the different streamers. Look at that smile on his face. Maybe he wants a backseat game a little bit, and but he's gonna hold back because he knows someone got banned in Empyrian's stream earlier. Let's just see what happens.
Moasie on the big screen right now. He's going up against the gargoyles. Doesn't even look like he's hitting that gargoyle at all. He's just totally ignoring it. All right, he finally gets over there, uses the decoy totem, lures Izaro over, wants to hang out with his gargoyle bro, and totally forgetting about his protector totem that he recently just purchased. Do you think that was a fat finger mess up there, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I believe in Moasie's abilities here. The story of Moasie's life this race has been no damages. All right, I did no damage there. He needs to call up Mathful and get some tips, because right now it's really looking like his thunder is just tickling the gargoyles. There's going to be those
really low.
Yeah,
it's all out of flask, completely dry.
No
not
flask.
cracking up over not cracking
he's so careful. He needs to kill a gargoyle hill. Those leap slams from the gargoyles are so crazy. Look at that, doing so much of his health, but he does have a tiny bit of regen, the most minuscule amount of regen here, so he could really wait it out and keep running around the room like so. He dips down to 30%, and the regen is really going to matter now. He has to avoid all of this. Ads do not spawn in this. This is a very Monka-esque situation for Moasie. Do you think he's going to be able to clutch it?
I don't know. It's going to be very difficult. Like you said, ads do not spawn until all 3 gargoyles are down, which means whatever little flash charges he does get off of... Oh, he takes a big hit there from the barrage, and looks like he does get some skeletons actually there. Must have been just like running around. Enough time has passed, which means that he's really far behind Engineering Eternity in terms of damage right now. And maybe is this a return of a Xeno type of play style? Is that what he's going for here? Or
maybe it's taking a long time, but once again, you do no damage when you're dead. There's one gargoyle very low, but he's dipping low as well. He's got a mana flask. He can spam the Sunder, but he has to kill that gargoyle. That'll be a lot less to deal with. He can finish off the other 2 and then kill Izaro. Izaro's nowhere close to 1/3 down, so we don't have to worry about the gargoyles being up for the next transition.
Yeah, definitely. That would be very unfortunate if he did push into the next phase with these gargoyles still up. Hopefully that's not something that happens. One thing I do notice is that none of the players have been using Culling Strike support. Is that something that you would recommend bringing into the Labyrinth?
Oh yeah, because in the last phase, if you think about it, you only need to whittle down to about, what is it, like 60-something% of his remaining health to get the insta kill. We saw how strong Culling was is when Sir Smurfington used a limb split. He swapped into it and instantly killed Izaro in the 3rd phase rather quickly. So it might be something that they're overlooking. Maybe they feel like maybe they don't have the currency to buy that gem. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it might be something they need to look into, because I believe any character of any class can purchase it in Act 2 after finishing like Sharp or Cruel, perhaps. And so maybe that would definitely help out, because like you said, makes that 3rd phase much quicker and really locks up that kill for these players. And he's really taking his time on this phase. It really concerns me that he's going to have a very hard time dealing with the conduits. Might need to level in the zone between here and zone and phase 2. Otherwise, he might be having a lot of problem.
He is close though. He's only about 4.5 bars away. In the next few zones, I can definitely see him doing a little Sunder action on more mobs and get 1 level. That'll really help him out. Empyrian is going to the hedge maze now, so he's going to come up on his last trial. He will be ready to enter the lab. Blastingcap is farming the docks. He has been farming the docks for quite a while now, just really getting those levels. Maybe just making sure, he says, I want to only do lab once. I do not want to die and reset. And we'll see if it pays off for him. It's a bold strategy.
Ooh, Moasie is really low there. Pops all of his life flasks. I think he sees these yellow gauntlets on the ground. He knows he's still wearing white gloves, and these are distracting him a little bit. He might just want to pick these up so he can stop hovering over them. Or maybe if he actually ends up dying here, it might be a good thing for him to have on the 2nd run. But this is taking a very long time, CuteDog, and definitely is looking very grim for him in Conduit phase. I'm hoping that if he does decide to go for a Dark Shrine, that he gets something very juicy. Otherwise, he does even pick up the gloves. It looks like he's He
It
does
looks
pick
like
them up.
Moasie, he does have the gloves. He ID them. He doesn't put them on. It could be because the colors are wrong. You notice in the gloves he's wearing right now, he has a red gem in there already. He might not be willing to use the high IQ to swap it into another slot. Maybe he doesn't have another slot that's red, so he has forgoed that item. Now the gloves I saw it had accuracy on it and a bunch of other stats, so it is by far better than his white items.
And one thing I am noticing, he is level 24, which means he is the proper level to start using Hatred, but he's deciding to not use that right now. He's only using the Herald of Ash, and that might be hurting his damage significantly, setting him back. What do you think about that, CuteDog? Should he have potentially picked up the Hatred in town?
Hatred is a lot of mana. What is he using right now? He's using a little Herald of Ash. I don't think Sunder uses that much mana. Right now, it looks like he only has a 3 link on it, so I think the Hatred would have been a big benefit. But, when you're racing, you're panicking a little bit. You're like, I don't want to get last place, and sometimes you forget the things that are worth doing.
Looks like he's in phase 2 now. Unlike Engineering Eternity, he did not opt to get the extra little thing that turns off a conduit permanently. And so we'll see how that affects, because now he's got to balance all 3 plates here of the conduits, and he might just not be able to handle it.
One thing I noticed is that when you watch Engineering Eternity, when he took damage from the Goddess Barrage, it just tickled him. Maybe took him down 20%. When Moasie is getting hit by these barrages, he is taking so much damage. And he almost dies to it. He almost died to it. He went down to like 2% HP there. That was insane. And he's eating barrages again. He hasn't learned his lesson. Monka S. Moasie, when those green things come out, they aren't healing. I know green is healing in most games, but in the lab, it is actual damage, my friend.
Spending most of his time running between the 3 conduits, and doesn't really get much time to DPS Izaro. It's only a matter of time till he eats a wind slash, eats a bunch of barrages, and falls over. I'm not necessarily sure that he's going to be able to complete this phase. He's just basically running in circles.
If he gets one Sunder off here and there, he drops a totem here and there, he could whittle it down. All he needs to make sure of is to not get hit by slashes and a combo of the barrages and little mobs that spawn from it. I think he's doing okay. It is a lot of clicking on these conduits instead of doing damage. So maybe we will see the other 2 players on the left side of the screen, not right now since Moasie's full screen, but the other 2 players, Empyrian and Blastingcap, catch up in the lab because of this low damage.
It looks like right now he has a Sunder linked only to melee physical damage and onslaught support. The onslaught support probably helping him out. Oh, he dips really low here.
He's dipping so low constantly, and I don't think it has nothing to do with player skill. It's just when he gets hit, it does so much damage to his character. And he's got 600 life right now. I don't know if he's going to make it out of this phase. Izaro is looking... You can definitely tell that from the start of the fight, Izaro's health has changed, but I don't know if it's going to be fast enough to eat another few barrages or slashes or add attacks. It's very, very scary right now. He's definitely clenching.
Eternity had a lot more resists going into this fight than Moasie did, as you can tell just by the damage he takes. He's getting very close to getting wind slashed to death, and it's going to be a close call for sure. He's definitely sitting up in his seat, leaning forward, not resident sleeping anymore. He's fully alert, fully awake, and he's just waiting to click the next conduit.
He has 3 flask uses now. People in chat have told me that he is fat fingering his flasks. No big deal. It happens to the best of. Look at that. He goes 1, 2, 3. Did you see that? He went 1, 2, 3 on the flask when he got hit by only like 10, 20% damage. So very spooked.
Hit there by a wind slash,
very low.
Hit by 2 conduits at the same time. So it's definitely getting really close. He's cutting it as close. Oh, huge barrage. He uses his last charge of life last there. He has 2 conduits up right now, and he's walking away from them. Maybe he's trying to get a little bit extra damage using the decoy totem, buying himself some time, but he is like almost completely out of mana, completely out of life flasks. Izaro's charging in, not having anything to do with that decoy totem, and hopefully get some refills here and not pop all of his flasks at once.
Yeah, it is spooky, but once again, I've done it before. You get a little bit concerned about your health levels, and you think, hey, if I'm taking this much damage right now, I might be taking another hit in the near future. Why not pop a few extra flasks? It's not unheard of. Now, Izaro's health is noticeably going down. I believe Izaro's at less than half health right now, so we will see another phase. One thing to note is that when you watch Engineering, his flasks were solid. When you watch Moasie, he always has empty flasks, and it's very concerning for phase 3, especially if he messes up and the conduits persist.
Yeah, because he's definitely been running around a little bit with 2 or potentially 3 conduits active. If he goes into phase 3 with even 1 or 2 conduits active, that might spell his doom. Very lucky Dark Shrine. That would be hilarious. I would love to see like an unkillable Dark Shrine coming out from Moasie. That would be...
Oh, a Divine Shrine would be juicy. We just see him face tanking, but I think that's too good of RNG to expect. And you know what I think? I think if Moasie came across a Divine Shrine, he would not click it at all. He would say, I have more honor than that. I'm going to do this fight on my own terms with the proper way.
Maybe something that he wants to do, but personally, I would use it. I do see Empyrian here in the lab as well now, and he dips super low. Hopefully, we get him up on the big screen. He's up, and he is no longer in the lab as he is dead. Taking a quick trip out. That might be death 3 now. Moasie completing phase 2, heading on his way to phase 3. Maybe get a nice Dark Shrine. Maybe get an extra key, extra unique. We still have Blastingcap, level 27 in the docks.
That is a nice level. That is a nice level. You know, I don't know why he's been in the docks so long. The entire time that engineering was in the lab and the entire time we've been watching Moasie in the lab, Blasting has been farming levels. What do you think he's going for there?
I think maybe looking for vol zones and trying to get himself some... Oh, he just found a vol zone right here. Maybe he'll go for that. And he's trying to get some of those sacrifice fragments, maybe sell them, maybe try to roll them around for midnights. I don't know if he knows that that's been fixed. You can't use your the little cheat to find out where those vol zones are, but he's going to pass that right by. But Moasie is slowly going through the lab here and coming up on this trap section, which can be very deadly. We'll see how he handles it here.
I have refreshed my multi-twitch. Havoc told me that we were both a little bit behind. So Havoc is going through the spiky traps and the darts, having a little bit of trouble killing even white mobs here. Now, usually the rule is you want to be able to 1 or 2 shot white mobs, but he took many more sunders than that to kill the, what's it called? The stone golems and the porkies. So very concerning there. Now we have Empyrian full screen. He is on phase 1. Look at that. He has an Orb of Alchemy. He has dropped an Orb of Alchemy. He picks up during the Izaro fight. And I don't know if he needs to kill these gargoyles. Yeah, he does. He's putting his totem right next to the gargoyle, eating slashes, but making quick work of the first gargoyle, and now he's about to kill the second. So you can definitely see the damage difference. And engineering Empyrian with very juicy sunders, high IQ sunders, and Moasie with the very low non-glowy brain sunder.
Yeah, up, and I do see Empyrian has left the lab once again.
Gosh, and he dies again, but he's okay. He has a positive mental attitude. Yeah, it is. He's going right back in. He's going right back in. Positive mental attitude, a smile on his face. He's not looking at Twitch chat. He's not getting triggered. He's going to say, I'm going to do this. But if dying that easily in the first phase, it's going to be painful if he dies on phase 2 and 3 and has to reset over and over again. But I'm cheering for him. I like the guy. He's done this before. Both runs, once again, were done in under 2 hours.
Looks like right now he's level 26, and at 27, I believe he does get a major damage node, and that might help him out, might push that damage forward a little bit. Maybe if Latucan does arrive in his channel, he might, even though he's not reading it, might help him out quite a bit. And looks like Moasie is slowly going through right now, picking up some items, figuring out exactly what he wants to do with these, and maybe he can find a weapon upgrade here for his offhand. Hopefully he remembers that you can't use Sunder with a sword. And looks like he found a door, but is wandering around, maybe looking for a Dark Shrine here.
Yeah, it is very strange what Blasting is doing. Some people in chat are saying that he's forgotten that it's a normal Izaro kill. Maybe he thinks this is a Katava kill. He just killed Grevices and he logs out. He's going to log back in. Very confusing, but if he gets second place or Moasie dies and has to reset his lab right now, it could work out for him. We'll see. It's a bold strategy. We'll see how it plays out for him. And Empy is now on phase 1 again of Izaro. Let's see how it goes. He has more health than Moasie did when he did the first phase.
Looks like Moasie's getting a little bit of lost, backtracking through the lab. He's looking probably over the Poe lab, seeing that there was a Dark Shrine he missed, and wants to go back for it. But Empyrian, I'm not sure how this is going to go for him. He's died twice now. He's totally tanks himself a wind slash, and yeah, it's definitely really sketchy right now.
I mean, he knows what to do with the gargoyles, though. So he has the knowledge. He has the IQ to take this gargoyle down. Last time, you can see with his totem and his thunder, he does so much damage to those ads. It's just Izaro that he has to watch out for. A shield charge, a slash, a barrage, followed by a couple normal attacks can take him down. That's what happened last time.
Yeah, that's definitely you gotta really watch out for those wind slashes and those charges. They can come way off the screen. And a little bit of update on Moasie. He has found the first Dark Shrine, and we're about to find out what he's going to get from that.
Ooh, let's hope it is something of great RNG, maybe a Divine Shrine, so we can see if he is a man of honor, maybe a Speedy Shrine. He wants to be that 1 minute man. And it is a regen. Ooh, he has now the same shrine that Engineering has. Yeah. And that worked out really well for Engineering. I think it's going to work out for him. Now, remember, he most of the time he had no flasks. So now with the running around Izaro, the merry-go-round strategy, it's going to be a lot easier for him.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to not have to worry about hitting his flasks 3 at a time. He might only have to hit 1, maybe 2, and that might help him out a lot with that flask management. Although it'll be interesting to see if he changes how he's using his flasks as a result of getting the shrine.
We had Blastingcap entering the lab. He had a little trouble clicking the normal lab. I believe he first clicked the cruel or merciless. Maybe that muscle memory is a little bit behind, but now he's in. He's leap slamming. A quick leap slam, by the way. He has his Herald of Ash on, so that is nice as well. I noticed that when for certain times
as well.
Look at that. Maybe he's gonna go. Ooh, do you think with his double mana flask strategy, he might turn on Ash and Hatred?
That would be a lot of damage. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough damage to push him through each phase without running out of mana. He's getting a little bit stuck here. He's trying to kill some stuff. He is level 28, which was
gems have leveled
higher than Engineering was when he finished. It does put him 2 levels above Empyrian's 26 and 4 levels above Moasie's level 24.
Yeah.
And Moasie is lost in the lab again.
You know, PoE Lab is a thing. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe PoE Lab is a little bit behind. There's no way that it reset right now, right? I believe that's in maybe the lab reset possibly at this time.
2 hours. 2 hours it refreshes. So it definitely is not a PoE Lab issue right now. He's just having some issues reading. Looks like he is going for another Dark Shrine though.
And here we go, Blastingcap is in phase 1. He has an Ancestral War Chief totem. He's doing a lot of damage to his Izaro. Ooh, taking a lot of damage from barrage and auto attacks. But he is safe. He has 2 potions that are almost full. He's cleverly avoiding the slash there just by walking, not even leap slamming. He eats a Sunder, but it doesn't do that much damage. He has been in no real danger so far. Flask is not as fast as Engineering's flasks, but he definitely knows he's not fat fingering, which is an added benefit there.
Yeah, he's definitely. It looks like he pushed over with 2 gargoyles still alive. That's going to be
that's going to be tough. It could be deadly. Empyrian now is on phase 2, I believe. He has conduits up. He's seen this before, I believe, on his practice runs. He also played with conduits, so no surprises here. He's going to avoid the barrage. He knows what's going on. His damage is good, so he does have to be a little bit wary of the conduits, but he will pull through here.
Looks like just like Moasie, he did not opt to take the Engineering Eternity strategy of getting the extra little thing that's going to turn off conduit permanently. And normally that's not that big of a deal. Like when you're Farm Maneuver Lab and you're turning Izaro into mush in about half a second. But when you are taking like 20 to 30 seconds, maybe even 2 minutes to finish a phase, then that additional conduit being off can really make a big deal.
And now we have Moasie in the lab and Empy in the lab. Maybe we get a little side by side. Well, I guess we can get all 3 on the screen at once because they're all doing lab right now. And Moasie has to really focus here if he doesn't want to get booty blasted. He has the regen shrine from the Dark Shrine, so he's looking pretty good. That we won't see any instances of him running around on 20% HP or with, I guess, flasks don't matter as much now. But he's looking pretty safe.
See how he changes his flask usage now that he does have the regen shrine. I noticed he did just use 2 and 3 for his flasks because he took a little hit, so it doesn't look like he's.
Oh, he used it again. He used his potions again as it was recharging, and then he used his number 3 potion as he had full HP. Oh my goodness. So, I mean, maybe it's a bad habit. Maybe it's because when you play mapping builds for a long time, you hit all your flasks because they're all utility flasks and you're not used to hitting the health potions one-on-one.
And normally you don't see 3 health potions on most streams. Some streamers do say that 3 to 4, maybe even 5 life flasks are really good, but most people are only using 1 or 2. But in this type of race, you might have 3, maybe even 4 health flasks. Was that Blastingcap going down? Blastingcap is back in the starting encampment.
And he goes down.
28 dies.
He has to reset the zones now. Oh my goodness, that leveling has not paid off. The extra time he spent could have been spent going through the lab. That is a big boost to Empy. If Empy's chat tells him what happened, Empy now knows that if he plays it extra safe, he could get 3rd place if Moasie continues and kills this last phase. Moasie getting easy flash charges from all these ads. Oh, eating barrages, You know, I've noticed that there's a 50% chance if Barrage comes out that Moasie is going to eat 3 or 4 projectiles.
Yeah, definitely something I am seeing a lot of. The only time I'm seeing him get out of those barrages is when it does like kind of the slowing around on the ground beforehand, and it kind of gives him a big heads up, like, hey, here comes the barrage. You got to move. You can't be standing still. But he is barely getting away from a lot of barrages, but I don't see him eating too many wind slashes, which I think is probably better, because he has this regen shrine. He has all of his flasks going whenever he has charges. So he will get back from any barrages. I think he's going to have a really hard time dying here unless he runs out of flasks completely.
Yeah, I mean, Moasie right now, once again, still has the shrine. That thing lasts forever now. And if you look at Izaro's health, this is the point at which if you had culling, Izaro would die instantly. The race would be over for Moasie right now. And now
actually, I think Izaro's right now at about 20%. So he's about maybe halfway there if he did have culling.
Got you. But maybe if Moasie dies here, he will regret that decision. But once again, hindsight is 2020.
Crafting right now, thinking about changing his belt from a rustic to a leather belt, wants to get a little bit more survivability, can't die again. And Blastingcap pushing through that first phase like he's farming lab, left gargoyles up once again. Really questionable decision, leaving up the gargoyles, as they do give him speed, they do give him more damage reduction. So we'll see if being level 28 really does help him out here in the lab. Maybe he'll find 1 sick dark shrine, but more likely he's going to get an extra key.
Yeah, we'll see if people tell Empy about the dark shrine. That could save the day. Once again, the divine shrine, probably the best one to get. It's just so easy, it's so relaxing. But maybe for some of these races, maybe they choose to have more of a speedy shrine or a damages shrine because they're so confident in their ability not to die.
It looks like Empyrian's finally done crafting stuff up, going into phase 3.
And we have phase 3. So Empy has actually caught Moasie. If Moasie dies here with Izaro on a sliver of HP, Empy could get 2nd place.
Yeah, or even if he just takes too much time running around the track, avoiding Izaro's damage, if Empyrian can really push out the damage very quickly, looks like actually Moasie did kill it.
Moasie, yep. Moasie gets the kill. Claps all around. Nice job, Moasie. 2nd place, and he gets about a minute and 56, it looks like. Okay.
So about 20 minutes slower, I believe, than Empyrian, which is still not bad for a amateur race here. Looks like Empyrian is doing a good job kiting everything around. He has 3 life flasks, a mana, and a quicksilver. So that's a little bit different than we've seen before. But Moasie definitely not picking the champion ascendancy here. Maybe he'll go with Gladiator.
Now we have the side-by-side of Empyrian and Blastingcap. You know, Empyrian has those buffs up on Izaro, so it's going to be kind of a little bit more damages. He has to really be careful of every single attack, but it looks like he's whittling it down. It didn't look like he had any issues with damage on the gargoyles, unlike Moasie. So I think this will be an easy last phase kill.
I think Blastingcap might be going for just keeping. Well, he's going for max keys. Blastingcap is trolling, going for max keys, BM all the way, no chest right now. He left up all the conduits, and we're gonna see if that's gonna cause him to get one shot by a wind slash.
Wow, that is full of memes. That is very toxic behavior from a streamer, I think. But it does provide entertainment.
Like maybe some additional loot that he can transfer to Harbinger, that league after this race, that he can maybe profit off this race since he is kind of slow right now.
You know, I mean, this is Harbinger League characters. Maybe he will get a mirror. Who knows?
Yeah, and looks like Empyrian has come in 3rd place, has finished the race, and right now we're just waiting on Blastingcap to get to this third phase, which will be extremely rippy.
So Empy, you know, we thought that he was going to get last. He thought that he was going to get last, but nope, he gets third place. And now we're going to have Blasting coming up on the last phase of Izaro. Now, I'm pretty satisfied with how this race went in terms of the finish times. There wasn't any like huge difference between or besides Engineering pulling out way ahead early on, and later there was like no one even close. But the other three racers, it's been pretty tight.
Yeah, Smurf and EngineringEternity definitely pulled way ahead. Maybe we'll see him in a semi-pro race in the future here. Empyrian really almost caught Moasie there. And it's very interesting. I'm not sure if Blastingcap has been meaning to meme this entire time, or he just realized that I spent way too much time in the docks, and he didn't even go for the Dark Shrine that the other guys ended up getting some nice regen from. So we'll see what he does here. But
and then Havoc has let us know that we will need to check the death counts to see if Empyrian got second or third place. So it looks like it was 158 on both of them.
Blastingcap goes down, dies. Two regular mobs in the labyrinth. Not even to Izaro. He was on his way to phase 3 and just gets totally wrecked.
I don't know if he's going too much for the memes there. He has his life last. Dying to white mobs is a little bit embarrassing, but look at, he goes right back in. He goes right back into the lab, and maybe this time he'll go, you know what? No more full key runs. Let me just get at it.
I did notice that he did assign a life node after dying. Maybe he thinks to himself, if I had had that life node, I would have stayed alive, and I was really upset with myself. I noticed he's not wearing a chest. We're not seeing that beautiful prophecy MTX. Maybe, is that possibly what's been screwing him over here? He's not showing his full MTX.
I mean, it could be. You know, he's not paying Gigi the tax money for good RNG and less monster damage. So Chris might be laughing in the background going, this is what you get.
Send in all the rare mobs with all the auras. Let's just assassinate this guy in the lab. Not even let Izaro do the work, because he'll see that coming, but let's get those white mobs doing the work. But he is hopping through. Can tell he's a little bit frustrated with how he's leap slamming so much. And we'll see how he does here. If he's going to decide to leave up all the gargoyles again, or if he's just going to play it safe so he can finish this race.
For sure. I think he's going to do okay. I mean, in other streams, MP has gone back to mapping. Moasie has a tie on his head. He's celebrating. Everyone is just watching Blastingcap go through. And here we go with the phase 1 Izaro. Let's see how he does.
Looks like he's deciding to go for full key once again. I mean, his life right now is 777. That might be a little lucky. And so we will see if that does help him out here to survive, to get to phase 3, to finish this race. Takes a huge win slash.
Now, are we going to get the other streamers in here for interviews? It looks like everyone's still online. Engineering is just watching this. Empyrian is mapping. Moasie is just watching as well. I think we'll do that after this, maybe after this kill. Okay, cool. Whenever they're in Discord, basically. So we need to get Engineering and Moasie and MP in the Discord.
Yep, did finish phase 1 and did go and kill, I believe, only one gargoyle. So it looks like he's still trying to get as many keys as possible. Isn't used to killing the gargoyles as a standard player who's used to having a lot of gear. And so maybe this is something he'll change in the future, or maybe it's just memes.
Once again, before the stream, Moasie and Blastingcap was both drinking, and I don't think you should drink and do lab at the same time. It really slows down your reaction times. But maybe he's going for the memes.
Don't drink and leap slam. It's very dangerous. You can land all sorts of places.
I mean, he's coming up on phase 2 now. His leap slam's pretty quick. I think it's going to be okay. This is, for now, I think Blasting knows. His chat must have informed him that the other players have finished. So he's just going, okay, let me play it serious here, and let me get this done. EngineringEternity is ready whenever we are. Yeah, let's get EngineringEternity in here while Blasting is finishing phase 2 here.
Looks like he is currently muted.
Yeah.
We'll see if he goes for the full conduits once again. Chat people are saying he's not getting the tips from his stream.
Yo, Engineering, what's up, man?
Hey, man. What's going on?
Not much. How do you feel as number 1 racer in today's amateur event?
Pretty good, pretty good. It was definitely a I had like some really good first layouts of zones and everything like that. So I got off to a good start, and
I believe I heard that you have created some videos to help people out with the layouts.
Actually, yeah. My Act 1 through 4 guides have most of the general layouts for all of the zones there. So
putting in the time and research to figure out all that information and present it for people, do you think that really gave you an edge here in this race?
I think it helps a lot because you begin to know which zones are linear and which ones have a lot of varying paths. And things like lower prison and upper prison are a bit more difficult. But like if you look at all of the layouts and you do kind of like an average, you generally have a better average of going like left or right. So you can kind of get the head start in zones like that. But yeah, I think doing that helps out a lot. Like knowing your layouts, knowing your progression paths. That's pretty much what I'm really good at. Just not really good at the shopping and vendoring as fast as possible.
So is that something you're thinking about improving on, maybe practicing shopping?
Yeah, I basically wanted to get better at knowing what to vendor and knowing when to check vendors, especially quickly, because basically right before I went into Izaro, I did a sort of like a 2-minute shopping session because I wanted to make sure all my gear had at least life on it or resistances. And that took me a bit longer, but I wasn't really worried at that point. But mainly like when you're getting in the Act 1, Act 2 zones where you really need to be swapping weapons and getting your sockets and links. That's like the most important part, I think.
Yeah, it definitely seems to help you out a lot.
Besides layouts, can you tell us a little bit about your practice strategy?
So for this race, a lot of it relies on Izaro, because you just steamroll everything with like nothing. Like all the other monsters don't matter. The only thing that matters is the Izaro fight. And basically what I wanted to do before each day that I practiced, I would see what Izaro had on him for mods, and then kind of base my strategy for that. And today was awful because it was gargoyles and conduits, both of which add a lot more damage and elemental, as well as him having a sword and a shield. Whenever he has a sword, he does the Reeve, and that thing has the most broken hitbox on it, so you're pretty much always going to get hit by it if you're not fast. So I wanted to ensure that I had enough life and enough resistances, and I thought resistances were really important, because if you ever had a conduit up or any of those barrage hits get you, which come out of nowhere, those are like the biggest thing to mitigate. So I was like, I'm just going Alira, and I'm going to try and get resistances on my rings, and then just slap life wherever else.
Okay, so you went full IQ. You planned everything out. That's very smart. Yeah, I mean, you did fantastic. It paid off for you. Got a nice Dark Shrine there. No close calls with Izaro, really. So, yeah, overall, it feels pretty good. It was very fun to commentate, and I think it was very enjoyable to watch that as well. So thank you for participating.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I look forward to watching the VOD.
Yeah, no problem.
And engineering, one more quick thing before you go. I noticed that you are the only person that has been grabbing the thing that turns off one of the conduits. How much do you think that helped you?
That helps a lot because you don't have to balance 3 of them. In that phase, it's really tough to get damage on them when you're not doing a lot of damage, and you don't have like a War Chief totem. So you basically want to have as much uptime on your Sunder on him. So only having to balance 2 and then getting him down without any up makes it much easier. And you only sacrifice like 20 seconds getting it, because it's just you walk up, get the chest, walk away. So I thought it was
that's very true. Are you thinking about doing some more racing? Do you think that you'll be in the semi-pro league from here on out?
I can consider doing some more racing. Yeah, to me, it's like I'm not a super competitive person, like a speed racing person, but I do enjoy it, and I think I'd be interested in doing more community events like this because these are pretty fun.
Okay, well, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, my friend.
Enjoy.
Well, we do have Blastingcap working his way through the lab. He just walked past the Dark Shrine, said, I don't want any of that. I want to get as many keys with as little buffs as possible. Maybe he's going to stretch it out here, do the entire 2.5 hours.
I mean, props to him. Yeah, he's really making it more difficult for himself. But I don't know. I think if he dies again,
by the way,
yeah, if he has to go through the lab one more time, it's just going to be painful. But at this point, I think he doesn't even care. He just wants to get it done and over with. And I'd be very surprised. I'd be very interested in hearing his thoughts afterwards.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's been very interesting to watch him like basically make it more difficult for himself. And I believe what was the people had bet on engineering to win. The most attractive. They bet on Empyrian to win, followed by engineering, followed by Blastingcap. I wonder if they didn't know that he was going to meme it up. He did just put on his chest piece finally.
There we go. And now we have the final phase coming up. He is in the boss room. Let's see what happens here. He avoids the slash, avoids the barrage, leap slams away.
Yeah, Izaro, I believe, is still all the way buffed up with conduits, does have gargoyles out, and so he should be hitting pretty hard.
A lot of damage. Yeah, gargoyle is up, but he can easily kill that gargoyle. It doesn't have that much life right now. He has the totem doing a lot of damage. Look at that. He gets a unique, it looks like. What is that thing? A flame knife.
I believe that's a gore flay or might flay. That's
might flay.
Maybe that if he dies, that might help him out with the next go round.
Maybe
he can manage to pick it up. He did turn off his loot filter.
Yeah, he did turn it off. That is interesting. Maybe he doesn't want any distractions. Yeah, but right now Izaro's not moving too fast, and I think he's got this.
Yeah, it looks like one of the gargoyles he left up was not the Quicksilver gargoyle, so he did take that one out, which would probably sped up Izaro a little too much. Oh, takes a huge wind slash, is recovering, gets it.
Oof. I think it'd be hilarious if he picked up the Might Flay, ID'd it, and then put it on. But now he's completed the lab, and everyone is finally done with the lab.
I wonder how many deaths Blastingcap had.
Yeah, I'd be more interested in seeing the deaths between Moasie and Empyrian. I don't know if anybody has those numbers, because if Moasie has more deaths, since it's within a minute of each other, if Moasie has more deaths than Empy, then Empy actually has second place.
Yeah, definitely going to be very close. Although I do believe that Empyrian had more deaths.
Moasie had 0 deaths? Oh, Moasie didn't die, is what you're telling me. Okay, in that case, then it is Engineering with number 1, Moasie as number 2, Empy as number 3, and Blastingcap with 4th place.
So maybe we'll get an interview here with one of them as soon as they are ready, and we will see what was going on. Moasie once more with the tie on his head, hanging out.
He's feeling good. Let's go and get Moasie in here.
Hopefully Moasie is hearing us. We'll get in the Discord.
That was a fun race.
Yeah, it was really fun. Very interesting to see people.
Oh, and it's Moasie. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
Moasie, Rambo himself.
Oh, yeah, I just muted the stream.
Nice.
Hey, what's up?
How do you feel?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Had a rough night last night. Went out to the NHL game and got a little sloshed. So this morning was kind of rough. So we just started to pick off drinking where we left off last night. So it's been a fun day so far.
Nice. That is exciting. Now, tell me about your preparation for this. I know that you and Blasting were planning on getting a few drinks in you. How did you prepare for this race, if at all?
Didn't really do too much. I did do Act 1 like a copious amount of times. I wanted to make sure I had a good start, and then I figured I could just wing it from there. So I think I spent probably 2 or 3 hours going through Act 1 and just like resetting and trying to figure out, the best way to progress through that. Act 2 and 3, I spent almost no time preparing for it and just kind of winged it.
Okay. Do you think that hurt you that you only had practice Act 1?
But it's been a busy week, so I wasn't able to make the time to get much practice in for Act 2 and 3. But I think if I spent some more time with it, I'd be much closer to Empyrian. But you could tell he was very prepared. So I'm very happy with second place in all things considered.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, one thing that we definitely noticed was your damage was a lot lower than both MPs and Engineering's. Do you think there was... Can you explain maybe, do you feel like your RNG wasn't so good this race?
Actually, RNG was okay. I think part of it too was the Act 2, Act 3, not practicing, not knowing what to pick up. So I just kind of went with whatever I found and made do with it. So I think that might be why it was a little bit lower. I mean, I'm kind of known for my low DPS, high survivability builds. So I kind of transition that spirit into this race. So I had 0 deaths on my EQ Sunder, and it worked out okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know you come from a hardcore play style. I don't believe you play softcore at all, and you had 0 deaths this run, whereas Blasting and Empy both had a few deaths there. So do you think your hardcore mindset helped you out?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, honestly, historically, I've played this game for over 5 years, and leveling is probably my least favorite thing to do. So when I got asked to do racing, I was like, oh, this is going to be an issue because typically I just make very defensive characters. And once they get high tier, they just don't die, except to corpse explosions the odd time. But that's about it. And so that's kind of my playstyle. That's what I enjoy in the game. But I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. This was quite a bit of fun. So I'd definitely be up for participating again in the future.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's
so
awesome.
We'll be down for races in the future. That is good to know.
One thing we did notice is flask management. Can you talk to us about some of your thoughts there? We would notice that you would take some damage and you would use 2, sometimes 3 flasks to get yourself back up. Is that something you're looking to improve in the future, or was that some sort of special strategy?
No, it's really just misplay. In all honesty, like I'm used to again playing only high level hardcore. And my mentality at that level is it's better safe than sorry. I'd rather use an extra charge or 2 than die and have to start over. So I think that has kind of been ingrained in my playstyle. So if I do race again in the future, then I will definitely need to practice on that.
Yeah, you did pretty well, though.
So
Second place. That's still pretty damn good.
No, yeah. No, I'm pretty happy. I mean, sub 2 hours. I think I did 1 full playthrough of killing Izaro, and outside of that, it was only Act 1 practice. So, yeah, definitely happy with the results overall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we enjoyed watching it. The no deaths until the lab, and the lab, there's so many instances where you dropped super low and you thought you were going to die, but you pulled out second place. And thanks for racing and letting us commentate on that.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm also looking forward to the VOD. So I'm sure you've said nothing but nice things, CuteDog.
Yep, nothing. I only have a kind heart.
CuteDog is the utmost gentleman at all times.
A scholar and a gentleman.
Thank you very much, Moasie. We do appreciate you.
All right, thank you, gents.
Thank you. I think the last one is Empy is in here. Woo!
Hello, good
Empyrian Gaming, my friend.
What's up?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing because it's over. No, actually, it was more fun than I thought I would have. I had some fun, moderate amounts of fun,
Okay. So obviously, I've been in your stream the past few days, and your leveling practice, you can tell that you just hate it. You don't have fun.
Yeah.
Negative mental attitude.
Yeah, chat gets a bit riley, because they expect you to be good, and I'm not.
Did you have chat up during this
I did.
race?
Yes, but
okay.
I didn't look at it all the time. I would say when I stream regularly, I look at chat 90%, 95%. Now it was 10, 15, Okay. Very selectively.
There was an instance where someone told us that they got banned in your chat. Did it have to do with the backseat gaming?
Yes, there was a guy who was telling me wrong ways to go pretty much, and I didn't want to have to filter that out. The guy was like, "Oh, this zone is always top left," and I went top left, and it was obviously not there. So I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not dealing with this."
That's pretty funny though. That is, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was good news.
It
was just a 24-hour ban. It was bad Sid gaming. Yeah, exactly. it was just a 24-hour ban. It wasn't a permanent or an 8-hour, whatever. So it's not during the race.
Back for the next race, so you need to watch out for that.
Okay, so let me say this about practicing. My first run was 1 hour 59 with 1 death. Okay, so that was better than this, and then my second run was also better than this. It was, I think, 2 hours with 2 deaths. So, yeah, it seems like the more I run, the worse I become. So, for the next race, if I ever join another one, I'm not going to do anything. And it's going to be good.
So what you're saying is that you're open to another race in the future. If there are different rule sets.
If the conditions are right. Yes. Okay. But I don't know, because this was Thunder, which is already boring for a lot of people, I guess, because it's the best. But I don't know anything else. I don't know. I'm such a bad leveler.
That's okay.
Empyrian
We're
wants
talking
a
about.
headhunter race
But
from
yeah.
level 40.
Ooh.
And the thing is, if you put things like, you know, if you said like these twin gear races where you have people choosing a unique or they have really good gear, I think that even further widens the gap between like good and bad players. Like you could make a race with like, I don't know, Dead and Doom, me, and I don't know, someone else like on the middle or something, and then give everyone really good items, and it would suck, I think, like, because Dead and Doom would be so much farther ahead, you know, because he can make use of his knowledge with those items so much more than I can. Like, yeah, sure, I'll run faster, but I'll still be bad at layouts, I'll still be, I don't know, forgetting quests or forgetting what gems I should pick up or whatever. Like, the big thing about me racing is that I'm missing direction. Like, I can play the game, I can click places, I can kill monsters, but I don't have a sense of direction. I don't know when I'm vendering. I don't know what vendor recipe I'm doing at what level. I don't know what I should check for gear. You know, like, I don't know, all these things. I don't know.
That is a
Like,
huge barrier.
It just
to
comes
racing.
down to playtime. Like, it just comes down to sitting down and grinding out like 100, 200 characters, and then you'll improve. But I just don't like doing that. So I have really hard time seeing myself like doing that in the future, just to get like try to get on par. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't too bad.
No, it's totally fine. You were in the final phase of lab at the same time as Moasie. So he was, you know, he
Oh,
finished
shit.
his
Oh yeah,
Izaro
that's another
over there.
instance when I looked at chat. Someone said Moasie died. You got this. You got this. And then I was like, okay, so I just need to do the last Izaro. And you probably saw me after the last or before the last Izaro. I just opened my stash and checked if I have like any upgrades, and I found 2 augmentors in my inventory, and I augmented
chest?
2 items. Yeah, it had like, I got like plus 50 armor. Or some shit.
Yeah, you spent
Yeah, I
quite a
got
bit of
some-
time there at that chest. Do you think that if you had not spent
Yeah.
that time, you might have caught him?
I don't know. I had no idea how. I only didn't want to be last, pretty much. And people told me someone who was like behind me or on par with me died, and so that's where I was like, okay, so I just need to really slowly like totem kill the boss or something. And yeah, I spent like 40 seconds ish trying to get upgrades before the final Izaro fight. But I don't know. Was it that close with Moasie? Like,
It was pretty
How?
close. His damage was extremely low.
I
Like,
died
you in
five
engineering's-
times though. Are you guys calculating that in?
Yeah, we calculated that.
Okay. Okay.
So you got, yeah, you definitely got
Wow,
third.
okay.
But yeah, you were in the last
Maybe.
phase, so it was
Pushed it a
exciting to
bit.
watch
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah, I had no idea.
But yeah, thanks. I know it was tough for you to make the decision to race this weekend, but thank you for doing it. It was
Okay.
fun to
Yeah,
watch.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, no
it was
problem. Man.
it was actually kind of fun.
Hope to
Well,
have you
that's
on
good.
again.
Yeah, talk
Thank
to
you
you
again.
guys later. Peace.
All right.
Are
Well,
we gonna get Blastingcap in here?
there he is. Yep.
Hey, what's up?
Yo,
Oh
Hey,
my god,
how do you feel?
what's up, guys? Well, pretty good, man. I honestly, when I crashed in Act 1, I was just like,
Yeah.
all right, this is not looking good. But I didn't want to give up like a bitch, so I was like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, that
So-
crash was brutal. Did you have the
Dude.
waypoint or did you lose the map progress?
I lost the map progress, dude. So, and what made it even worse is that area was like a cluster, dude. So I'm trying to find my way back again, and that literally killed all my momentum. And then from then there, it was just like, ugh, like struggling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you were pretty close to Merveil there before you crashed, right?
Yes. I was right near Merveil. I had the momentum, you know, when you get that flow going, and then, dude, it just instant. And then since Irma hit, our internet around here in Florida is still kind of suspect on the East Coast. And so right around dinner time, like right now, prime time, I spiked to like 200-300, and that kind of bit me in the ass when it came to Izaro at the end. It was a little bit delayed, but it was still fun, man. I had a lot of fun. But
I know I was asking you for Izaro times earlier for the race practice, just so we can get a gauge on where everyone was. Can you tell us a little bit about like maybe what you did to practice? What was your mindset during practicing or during the race?
So essentially, like, I was doing better than my practice times. Like, my best, I did 3 full runs, 1 death, 145. So add another minute onto that. So it was the 146 run was my best. And I was on par with that before I crashed in Act 1. And then I was just like, I look at the time when I got back into Act 2 and like, oh shit, this is not good. Yeah. So, but what can you do, man? I mean, RNG is RNG. Excuses, no bitching, free game. I had fun.
So it seems like you had fun. You're like lots of people in chat were spamming. You're going for like full key runs at the end there. Did you mean to like meme it up at the end just because you're like whatever?
Yeah. At the end, at the third run, I was just like, you know what? I'm probably last anyways. Let's just have fun with this.
Okay.
I noticed you weren't even trying your Dark Shrine luck there at all. Was that like intentional or?
Nice meme, man. No, but honestly, at the third run, I was like, I know I'm last. Let's have fun with this for a little bit. And so, but yeah, I mean, I knew it wasn't looking good after the crash, so I just kind of had fun with it after that.
Yeah,
I had fun casting
to have.
regardless. Yeah, I mean, it's for fun, dude. I'm not going for a demi right now. It's just for fun. So
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we enjoyed
CuteDog
it.
didn't tell you about the $1 million cash prize.
The 1 million.
1 million. Oh man,
Sponsored by Grinding Gear Games.
Purchase your MTX by pressing M.
The amount of money we've like between like all like us right in this channel have given for mystery boxes. I think they could probably put $1 million cash prize for one of these races.
That doesn't make a lot of money.
I like this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nice.
it was nice because besides engineering, you, Empy, and Moasie were all in the lab at the same time. So it actually was like
It was really close.
Yeah, second to fourth was like really close.
No.
Like, if you had like try harded, I think it would have been like photo finish.
I could, dude. My ping was so fucking high, man. Like 300-400 times. I'm like, you know, when you go press like a leap slam button and nothing happened for a little bit. That's what I was running into. And it was just
like Empy was the most behind for Act 1, Act 2. He was so behind, and then somehow he was in last phase of Izaro with Moasie when he was in last phase of Izaro somehow, and like yeah. So it was like really fun to watch. It's I think it's more fun to commentate as well when it's close. And so,
definitely.
I mean, I can relate. Well, you know, casting your race.
Yeah,
that was crazy to watch. But yeah, but anyways, I had fun, and obviously I wasn't sober either. Me and Moasie were like, "Yo, let's just have fun and drink to this." I've had like I think like 4 or 5 shots of vodka through the entire race. Nothing too major, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Well, thanks. Will you be racing in the future for these events?
Oh, absolutely, man. If I'm welcome back, absolutely. If not, I'd love to cast as well, because casting, anything I could do to help. It was a lot of fun.
For sure. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, man.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.
And that is it, everyone. Do you have any closing thoughts, Don?
No, I think that we might see engineering moving up to the semi-pro, and then I think all these 3 guys were really well matched. Like as you said, they were close together in the lab times, and so it'd be interesting to see them go up against each other once again, maybe in a different type of event, or maybe just see them race once more and see how they do.
Yeah, that would be like I love these close events, like the last MP engineering, or not engineering, Moasie blasting, like that is very good selection for the races. So yeah, it was fun for sure.
And I was surprised how Empyrian was able to kind of catch up. There was certain parts of the game that certain players were better at, and they were able to really close the gap during that time.
Yep. So yeah, that was thanks for casting with me. It was fun. I hope to do some more in the future.
I think the next race we do have coming up is going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is that against the 2 pro, 2 semi-pros?
I don't have the exact dates for the schedule, but yeah, there are a crap ton of events tomorrow for people to watch.
Oh yeah, it's the 2 pro versus 2 semi-pro, Act 5 Kitava Kill, solo, and it's Dead and Doom, Freak, Chop Going Fast, and Gucci, and they'll be commented by Nugi and Uber Elite.
Should be good to watch. See everyone over there. And I guess we'll now hand it over to Havoc to do the closing. And thank you, Havoc, for having us, and thanks everyone for watching.
No problem, CuteDog and Don, and thank you for casting today. I also like to apologize to the crowd and the casters for the technical difficulties earlier in the stream. It was out of my control, the internet just went out in my area. Fortunately enough, it was able to come back just in time for Engineering's Izaro kill. I'd like to thank you guys again for tuning in and showing the support for these events, and I really hope you guys will enjoy the events tomorrow. We have 3 events tomorrow, like Don mentioned, 2 pro versus 2 semi-pro, and SRS only Izaro kill, and a Twink normal Izaro kill, which is sponsored by CuteDog himself. If you enjoy white t-shirts, you'll definitely enjoy that event. Thanks again.
That's what you were buying. That's what you were buying the Tabulous for.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
gotcha. That will be fun to watch, this for sure.
All right. Thanks again, gentlemen. Thanks again for watching,
Bye,
guys.
Bye,
See you
everybody. Thank
tomorrow.
you.